we were interested in this marketplace before the crisis, we're interested during the crisis, and we're interested after the crisis. And so the U.S. is an incredibly strong market for us, and we'll continue to invest here. I think, a little bit connected, but not exact. Anything we can do to improve the health of the consumer, and small businesses do drive consumer health in the U.S. in a big way. And so that's that kind of support and that kind of thing directly to the consumer and directly that focuses on these small businesses leads to healthy consumers, which leads to healthier businesses for us. When you look at shoppers, they want to take fewer trips, reduce the amount of times they're out in terms of exposure, so they have larger baskets. We see it across all of our retail partners in grocery as well.
Almost 1 out of 4 jobs in the U.S. economy today that are retail related. So that's not a small number. It's also 70% of the tenants in the malls are small businesses below 10 employees. So it gives you a range of small businesses that are involved in the retail and that are suffering today from the crisis. Just to eliminate FIRPTA, so the Foreign Investment Real Estate Property Tax Act, that is preventing Westfield, so Unibail Rodamco Westfield, to invest more in the US, while we want to do more and to invest more. There is a study that's been done in 2017 that was saying that just by eliminating this outdated regulation or law, they would get very quickly more than $16 billion of investment in the US in the retail industry or in the real estate industry that will add to the GDP of this company. So I think he's it. And for the long-term recovery of the economy, the long-term recovery of the retail industry and the real estate industry, that would be instrumental.
So I think the change in how we shop in using technology is going to necessarily have a change in how we operate and the skill sets we're looking for some technology background in our workforce. I also think issues of diversity that have come up been widely discussed and addressed in recent months. We will be affected and are being affected on that level as well, and should be. These are issues that we, as Americans, we all need to be concerned about. And so I think we will be looking at a more diverse workforce in the food sector going forward.
I think what we're going to see is more retailers moving the volume of their sourcing out of high density countries, China specifically. And this is driven by trade policy, which has evolved in a far more protectionist way, certainly more so than we would ever like it to. But the harsh reality is, it's just smarter for businesses to have their sourcing spread across the world in ways that it wasn't necessarily before.
I understand the political appeal of the simplistic argument that let's use our government money to buy stuff here at home rather than overseas. But that may have worked in the past, but it's just not. It's going to be a recipe for stagnation and decline in today's and tomorrow's competitive globalized supply chain economy. So I think we all have to realize that, including our policymakers, that the global economy is able to thrive because of access to foreign markets. I know that you and your member companies have demonstrated that and are on the line in terms of buy America, buy Japanese, buy French for that matter. But any policies that purposefully restrict those kinds of that access for reasons other than national security will ultimately not lead to growth, and that will necessarily have negative effects on the economy and workers. I think that as Brian mentioned, the virus has exacerbated the disruptions and given air cover to embrace protectionist policies by governments. We've strongly opposed those kinds of approaches over the years. More tariffs mean unwelcome taxes here at home on U.S. consumers.
So this collaboration throughout the supply chain has been critical to being able to keep products on the shelf. And I think we've all learned a lot in that process, which will make it much easier for us to address any kinds of disaster situations we have to face going forward.
We hope we can make up some ground on this hopefully quickly and get back to knocking down barriers to trade around the world, because that is the way that we grow our economy. That is good for businesses. It's good for customers. And so we think that the mask mandate at the state is critically important. We think government leaders have an obligation to be outspoken around this, because at the end of the day, we know that it brings down the incidence of spread, and that's all of our overall objectives.
Our employees should not be in the business of law enforcement, but also feeling strenuously that doing everything we can to protect the health and well-being of both our associates and all the other customers in the stores is critical.